Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Truly Your VA podcast with Janice. But today is not about me. I have this amazing guest on today. Cannot wait to get the conversation started. I met Nichole Howson probably about a month or two ago. And technically, I guess we would say we're in the same business. But what most impressed me about her is her knowledge, her skills, but her love of her creativity and helping her clients. So without further ado, Nichole, welcome to the Truly Your VA podcast.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm super excited.
Wonderful. So first of all, I love having the chat with online entrepreneurs, and I love learning how you got started in this field.
Sure. Yeah. So I started my business about 8 years ago. I actually started it because my mental health wasn't doing so great, and I needed a job that I could do from home while I was recovering. And I ended up deciding, you know what, I think I could do social media. I took a class in college. I really enjoyed it. So I put an ad out on Kijiji, which is the Canadian version of Craigslist. Not how I recommend you get clients, but that's what I did. And I got my first client. They were in Canada, US, and the UK. So that was a lot of fun to learn how to market with them and that sort of thing. And I went to school for marketing. And by the time I graduated, I had enough client base that it didn't make sense to stop doing that, to go work in an agency somewhere. So I just started my own.
And what is the name of your agency?
It's AIM Social Media Marketing.
And I love also asking, how did you come up with that name?
Ooh, that's a good one. So it's actually really pathetic, but I had no idea what to name it. And for like a week and a half, it was named Expanded Marketing, but I was like, seems like some sort of construction kind of focus, and that's not me at all. So I was like, I don't know if I like this. So I was looking on Pinterest trying to find a good option, and there was this quote about you have to pull back an arrow before you can shoot it, and the same with life. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's the same thing for marketing. Before you can just take off, kind of have to take a second, take a step back and go, okay, what are we doing? And then make that happen. So out of that came AIM Social, and I haven't looked back.
And you know what? That is so exciting, because I'm thinking about that as you're describing that. I'm thinking, here she is, here Nichole is sitting at her desk, and I just imagine the bow coming back on the arrow, and you're shooting for an aim. And boy, you got that center target mark, didn't you?
I did.
And that is so fascinating. I just want to take a brief pause here to welcome our listeners on the Wisdom Audio app. I see some familiar faces, some familiar names. So thank you so much for being here. Nichole, when you started your business, and as you said, okay, you started advertising on Craigslist or however you did it. And obviously you don't do that now, but you did it in such a way, like there may have been fear associated with that. As sometimes when we market ourselves, but as being an online entrepreneur, of course, myself, there is that fear, but you
Absolutely.
tackled it in such a way that, okay, you got your first client, and I remember getting my first client. It's exciting. It's like, okay,
Absolutely.
now what can I do? So you build up that confidence,
Mm-hmm.
and your confidence is just like booming, and I think that is amazing.
I do my best. Every day is different. And imposter syndrome definitely creeps in every once in a while, but remembering how far I've come since that beginning and that first client it's really easy to kind of keep that in check.
And when you are working with your clients, what is the structure? Because I think a lot can be certainly said about routine, about structure, and how you help them out. Like, how does that process work?
Yeah. So when we work with clients, it's usually about a 2-week start off, but we use Trello and Slack specifically. And we have all our systems set in place, and it just makes it easier for me, for my team, and for my clients. So all of our team members are trained on the same system. Every client has the same setup. And so we know where everything is. It's really easy to kind of keep track of everything. So we started doing that about 1.5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago now, actually, come to think of it. And it's been really easy to kind of keep track of everything instead of it all being stuck in my brain and everybody needs me. That I had to change because I like having my life and not having to be glued to my desk all the time and have to be there for every single person whenever they're working. And as my team grew, I was like, this is not sustainable. And we got to try something different.
And so did you start out, for instance, only by using Trello and then added Slack? Like, what was that process like for you?
I think actually we used Slack first, and then we moved over to Trello as well. Originally, it was all a lot of back and forth and emails and that sort of thing. And I was like, this is just, I don't want to have everybody in my inbox. That doesn't seem right. And I didn't want to have to keep forwarding emails, and then it was a mess. So I was like, okay, let's get some actual systems in place. I was using Trello for my internal team anyway. And so I was like, you know what, I wonder if we can templatize this and make this easy for us to use for every client. So we have our templates. It's literally as easy as copying the board and writing the new client name. And we've got a system in place for them already.
And obviously your clients appreciate that because it's set up in such a way where, you know, anybody on your team, you or anybody else, knows exactly what's happening in real time.
Absolutely.
And part of it too is obviously the communication process of that, because a lot of times I think, you know, we're in such a fast digital world, you know, and the email, you know, I hear you on that. And but to do it in such a way where you've said that you've templatized it. And I think by the way that you created that word.
I think I stole it from somebody else, to be honest.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
I have no idea who, but somebody else said it. I adopted it as my word too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and that is so true, to have those systems set up in such a way where it's not like overwhelming. And, you know, you had mentioned that you had to do something because you wanted your life. Like, you don't want to be glued to your desk. And that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur, doing what you love, loving what you do, but knowing, hey, I also have a life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you started about 8 years ago with Craigslist, and now you've moved on. You're the name of your business and you're hiring people. So how many people do you have on your team?
We have 11 people right now. We have 2 interns and the rest are paid team members.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
I absolutely, it's exciting. What is the process that you take your clients through? Like, hey, they know Nichole, you know, has the AIM social media agency. What is the process for them when they start working with you?
So once we've got them all signed up with their contracts and the invoices and everything, and we're all settled there, we create them a Trello board, and on the left-hand side is like an admin session. And so I have them fill in all their branding, all their important links, anything we should know about their business, all that fun stuff. It's like a brain dump for them to put in there. And then we create a specialized team for them. So they have an account manager, a copywriter, graphic designer, engagement specialist, really whatever they need, as well as a VA that comes in and does all the scheduling. And so I'm in every account, but I'm not the main person in every account, because it just wasn't sustainable for me to be everywhere at once. And so we have a really great team that kind of keeps on top of those things. Once a week, we have a team meeting now, where we go over everything. So we're able to give our clients the best service possible while staying up to date on all the accounts.
Wow, that is so fascinating. And I'm so excited for you. Like, and I see your business even going further than where you are now.
Absolutely.
Wow. What is one big goal for your business that maybe is on the horizon, or as you're growing and developing and hiring new people to come on board with you, what is a big goal that you have for the business?
Ooh, that's a good one. In terms of internal, I would love to get another full-time team member on staff. I think that would be a lot of fun, to have a couple of people that are just there all the time and doing stuff. But just continuing to grow and building out our client base. We are doing, or have done, a course on how to balance your life and your mental health while running an agency, and having those two hand in hand. It was everything that I wished I had known when I started. And I've made notes in the last 8 years of all the lessons I've learned and all the different things that you should be doing. And I was like, all right, now it's time to put it all together into one bundle, sell it as a course, and give it to people who are struggling with that. Because if I had all those resources when I first started, oh my gosh, the money I would have saved and the time I would have, it would have been invaluable to me. So I decided to make sure it happened for other people.
That is wonderful, because as we start and grow our businesses, I know, of course, I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. That goes without saying. But to develop a process and a goal in mind that, to serve your clients in such a way where it's feasible. And I love how you set that up in your Trello board, by the way, with an account manager. So they know that they always, and we're back to the communication factor. If a client has a question, they can contact their account manager or their copyright person, or however you had mentioned you set it up. And that has to be so reassuring for your clients, because they know that they will get a response in a very reasonable amount of time.
Absolutely. Yeah. In our Slack account, we have channels for each client. So they have their own channel with their whole team in there. So even if they're not sure who to ask, they can say, hey, I need this done. And whoever's job it is, they just jump in and do it. So it's really great. Every once in a while, I'll jump in and be like, oh, I want this person to do this. But the rest of the time, the team members do it for the clients. And it's so amazing to watch them all be able to do all this stuff. There's been a few times where I've been sick and just been down for the count. And I was like, all right, guys, I'm trusting you to keep this going. And the end of the couple days that I'm off, I'm like, oh my gosh, nobody even missed me. And that's the ideal world where my business can run for a week without me. And yes, there's some things that didn't get done because they have to be me, but most of them are internal things and not for clients. So it's not like we've dropped the ball on a client. We didn't put out an email for this week's newsletter, or we haven't recorded YouTube videos in a couple of weeks. Those are the things that get dropped, not, oh shoot, we didn't do any content for this client in the last month.
Wow, that is so amazing. Now, first of all, being an agency owner takes a lot of responsibility, a lot of dedication. Have you been able, and you had mentioned about having a life obviously outside your business, so that's setting boundaries, which is perfect. Have you been able to go on a vacation? Like, for instance, oh my gosh, I'm going to be away for a week, and as you said, they didn't miss you. have you been able to do that and like feel comfortable that I'm on vacation?
You know what? It's one of my goals is to be able to go on vacation. I really love my business and I love working probably more than I should. But there are a few things coming up in the horizon as long as everything works out where I'm not going to be available 24/7 or throughout the normal work week. And I'm excited to see how the team just kind of works and I can pop in here or there when I'm needed, but the rest of the time they're going to do all their stuff and it's going to be an amazing situation.
Wow. And obviously I see, and I mentioned this on our little pre-podcast chat, all of your amazing books behind you.
Yes.
When you sit down at your desk first thing in the morning for maybe inspiration or reflection, do you have a typical morning routine that you're like, this is what I'm doing, don't bother me?
So when I sit down for work, I don't know if it's necessarily the right way to do it, but it's what I do. So I'll sit down and look at my Slack messages, just make sure everything's kind of settled. There's no red fires burning. And so I kind of go through that really quickly. I go through my email. If there's things that need to be done during the day, I add them to my to-do list. If it's something I can do really quickly, I do that. And then I sit down with my to-do list. I look at what can be delegated to the team for the day and hand those off. Determine what things are going to take me a few minutes to do and which ones are priorities for the day. Anything else gets rescheduled to a different day or time. And I block in my calendar and say like, okay, at 1 o'clock, I'm going to do a podcast. And at 2 o'clock, I'm going to work on this client account. And I can book all that into my days. So that way I know what I'm doing and I can hold myself accountable and stay on top of things.
That is wonderful. Now, what are some of the things that have happened with your clients as a result of your agency?
Ooh, this is a good one. I like this. We've seen some pretty amazing results in it, or like analytics and stuff like that. And not anybody can get those results, but it's more exciting to see when what we've done or what we've taught is actually being done and being done successfully, where we get clients come back and they're like, oh my gosh, I landed a client, or oh my gosh, I just got this amazing feedback on YouTube, and you're like, yes, this is what we've been working on. And being able to see that we're impacting lives. That's what makes me happy. That's what gets me excited versus, oh, look, we gained this many followers for the week. Yes, it's good, but I'm not like, yeah, we got 20 new followers. I'm like, okay, what are we doing to actually impact people?
And that's so important because I think that the impact that we are both chatting about, it's not about the followers. I just had a recent conversation with someone and we were talking about audio social media.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously broadcasting as well, simulcasting through the Wisdom Audio app. And thank you to all the amazing listeners that are currently on right now. But my followers on Wisdom versus my followers on Clubhouse is a huge difference. I think I have close to 6,500 on Clubhouse. I have maybe close to 300. I don't look at followers because to me, it's more about making that connection.
Absolutely.
Adding value, making an impact. And as a byproduct of that, I've really started to organically grow my business. And that is what's most important to me. Because for me, I feel that it's in alignment with how I would want to be treated, right? It's not about the followers, because then when I think of followers, I think of filters for some reason. I don't know why. It's one of the F words. My other favorite F word is food, just saying. So you make such a great point there. And, thank you for sharing that, because I think some people, when they look at social media think, well, I don't have enough people on my Facebook page, or I don't have enough followers. And I have to say, from personal experience, letting go of that was the best thing I ever did.
Absolutely. Yeah, as soon as I stopped obsessing about how many followers I had on Instagram, I was able to see the results because I wasn't doing it to get more followers. I was doing it to build a community and be able to share more about what I do and educate and build that community that the whole point of social media is to be social. And sometimes we get so caught up in the whole numbers thing that we forget about why we're doing it in the first place.
That is so true. Now, back to social media or the creative aspect of it. What does your team use? Like, for instance, I love Canva. I'm a Canva junkie.
Absolutely. Canva is 100% what we use. It just makes it easy. We can share templates between each other. We all have one Canva account that we work in, and create all the stuff within, so that way everybody has access to everything. And it just kind of works together. And we create like templates and stuff like that through there as well.
Wow, that is amazing. Yeah, I did the same thing as well. What would you think is your favorite application, like software, that you use in your business? Like I mentioned that I kind of geek out on Trello. That's like Trello.
Yeah, despite the fact that I love Trello and Slack and Canva and all the things, my favorite is Todoist. It's a to-do app. So you can create like a list of everything that you need to do for the day. You can put in like October 1st, I need to do this. And it saves it and it automatically populates on October 1st. It'll come up with that task. So you don't have to keep track of like, oh shoot, I need to do this in 2 months. You can literally just write in 2 months, do blah, 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 and it'll populate for you. And so that's really handy. You can create reoccurring tasks in there as well. So you don't have to put like, okay, check emails every single day. It just automatically will come up. And I used to have everything like check emails, check Slack, and everything in there. And now it's basic stuff that I'll forget to do, like check LinkedIn, post on TikTok. I have all these drafts and then I never post because I forget. I'll get halfway through the day and I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't post anything. So having those on my to-do list is really handy and helpful to keep me on top of things. And then I can go through there as well and pick like my main focuses for the day.
And I just recently heard about Todoist, and I just kind of circled it and I'm like, check this out.
Yeah.
And, think about that for a moment, though, the simplicity of something like that keeps you on track, keeps you on top of those little things that could add up to a lot.
Yep, absolutely.
So I have a funny question for you.
Sure.
Do you have your own account manager?
Ooh, I have my full-time VA and she's amazing. But for my personal social and for AIM's social, we have 2 different account managers that handle everything. So I come in and write my own copy and stuff because it's just, I like it. But they start the content for me. They handle the graphics and everything. I might say like, oh, hey, like we posted this. Can we reshare this to this account and that sort of thing. But the rest is my team and they're amazing.
Wow. And they certainly sound it. What is a book that you want to read?
That I want to read?
Yes.
Oh gosh. That's a really good question. And now I'm like, I think I want to read The 4-Hour Workweek. I haven't read that one yet. I'd love to reread so many of them, but I think that's the next one on my docket is The 4-Hour Workweek.
Yeah, I've heard that's an amazing book as well. And I definitely want to read that. And of course I have my, I call them my desk books right here. And I'm just finishing up Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. Club.
It was a good book.
Oh my gosh. Excellent. Excellent. Oh my gosh. Nichole, how can our listeners and viewers get in contact with you?
So if they search my name, I don't know if your audio listeners can see my name, but it's Nichole with an H, and I see Hole Howson, and every platform. That's my username. So it made it really easy for you to find everything. And I'm linked to all my client accounts and stuff like that there. So if they have any questions or anything they want to chat about, they can message me, and we'll make it happen. We'll have some fun.
Oh my gosh. Wow. And obviously I will make sure all that information is in the show notes for the podcast. This has been so amazing. And I can't thank you enough for your insight and the way that you have grown your business. And it's just amazing. And I'm so excited for you, and congratulations on your success. This is
Thank
wonderful.
you.
You're so welcome. You know, folks, social media is just what Nichole said. It's social media. Let's not follow the numbers on the followers, but let's be cognizant. Let's be cognizant of the fact that we are amazing individuals, and it is possible to have your own business and to be so successful and do what you love to do. Obviously, Nichole loves to do what she loves to do, and she has shared so much amazing information about Trello, Slack, and the services that she provides her clients. Like, I'm just so grateful for her time today. Thank you so much, Nichole. And I hope that you will definitely consider coming on the Truly Your VA podcast again.
Absolutely. Anytime. Just let me know.
Wonderful. Well, Wisdom, I want to thank all of my listeners on here today, and really check out her information. You can go to Nichole, Nichole Howson, Howson, and she's on, as she said, on all the different social media platforms. Signing off on the Wisdom Audio app for now. Thank you again to all my amazing listeners. Hey, Facebook and viewers and listeners on all the different platforms that Truly Your VA is on. I want to thank Nichole again. You know, many of us were put into the situation where we kind of revamped and restarted our businesses. It is doable. Templatize and take the time to doist. My name is Janice Malilal, the host of Truly Your VA. And today, truly even more impressed with the amazing Nichole Howson. Have a great day, everyone. And thank you so much. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.
Bye.